Okay. Kalikaku,
Kalikaku.
Xavier Bouldin. Today we're going to be talking about transhumanism. So let me just explain to you real quick what transhumanism is. It's basically like, you need to give it like cyborgs, basically. It's like technology that people will use to augment themselves.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And so there's small things like you can put a little like microchip in your hand so that you can like do Apple Pay with just your hand payment like that.
Or the Neuralink.
Neuralink is like the more modern,
Yeah.
stepped up version of that. But there's a whole bunch of stuff. You can like, people talk about like potentially uploading your brain to a computer or things like, prosthetic arms or transhumanism or exoskeletons, things like that. I'm just going to ask you, what's one aspect of society that might be changed by transhumanism?
I think that one big aspect would be like the efficiency of life, especially because you've seen those like Apple Pro glasses, like that's what I was thinking of. And people say that it's more efficient and like you can do stuff at the same time, like, I don't know, go to the grocery store but also do your work, whatever it is. So I think it's just going to make life a little bit more convenient, but also just more efficient, and that's kind of the whole purpose of technology in the first place too.
But don't you think it would also like take away from people's life? Because if they're always so connected to technology, there's going to be less like raw, just pure human interaction, right? So it's
I mean, I would, well, for that specifically, I would say no, because you're still in the real world, but you just happen to be integrated. You
But
have to have technology.
if you're at the grocery store, you're shopping,
Yeah.
and at the same time you're like reading through emails or whatever, you think you're going to be as likely to like, say like, talk to some random person at the grocery store? I mean, not like you would ever.
I guess not, but I don't know if that's the definition of being like connected with life still, because I don't think that's a very common thing in the first place.
Yeah, not unless you're like 70.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if that's
or
really,
filming a YouTube video in like
exactly.
like Target.
So I don't think that's like a human thing to do in the first place. So I don't see what you're missing out on.
That's fair. Okay. In what ways might this change be positive, and how might it have negative effects? So you kind of already talked about that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe if you.
I also wonder if like
aspect of it.
hacking is possible.
That's definitely.
Because I know when they had to make the like self-driving cars, they had to really do a bunch of work on the firewalls and everything, because if you can just tell your car to drive anywhere, it's gonna like mess up everything. So I think that's a negative that could happen too.
Definitely, and it's like, imagine if it's something like crucial, like something important, like your pacemakers like has Bluetooth connection.
Exactly.
And it's also
they just turned your heart off.
Yeah, because they can connect to your Keurig, and so that way it'll tell you like, oh, your BPM's a little high.
There you
Don't
go.
pour this cup of coffee.
Exactly.
But then suddenly they got like a fucking spoofer,
and then they just turn off your pacemaker. Exactly.
Okay, so that's a concern for sure. Who might be impacted the most, and which groups might be negatively impacted?
I think it's hard to say one group that would be impacted the most, because...
Yeah, I can give you one.
What?
Poor people.
Well, I'm talking about just a positive impact. But like, because I think anyone can do it. Unless it really is expensive, then yeah, obviously it's just the elite.
How much do you think Neuralink goes for?
I think Neuralink is like millions, right?
Exactly.
Isn't it really expensive? Yeah, but like, the Apple Pro is like
3.4K.
Yeah, I guess that's still true. Like, I don't have 3.4.
It's more than my car.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. But I don't know if that like negatively impacts people, because like poor people, just because like they just happen to not have it.
Well, it's like, imagine if like phones cost $3,000 and suddenly like you don't have access to a phone because you're poor, and then you're losing out on like.
So you're saying like
social
this
media? It's like.
You're saying the transhumanism thing is going to become like the next
I think it's
phone?
fundamentally classist. No.
I mean, I don't know if people are going to really shift from using their phones and whatever they have, just and then get stuff implemented.
I mean, bro, if you have
like, I wouldn't do that.
If you have Google Glass built into your eyeball,
I would never get that. That'd be so weird.
Yeah.
I have my phone at work. I don't know, but I can see how poor people would be impacted, because obviously they're left out.
Oh, another thing to think about. What about like firmware updates or hardware updates? You know what I mean? Like the new eyeball 15 just came out. Like, are you gonna go get fucking brain surgery to connect the new eyeball?
The letter eyeball.
Eyeball.
Of course.
Yeah. It's a testicle, actually. It's down there. It's not actually in your eye. It's deceiving.
Of course.
But it just comes out. Are you gonna go and get your sack opened up to get the new one put in? Because
Is that what you have to do?
You're on the eyeball 3.
That's true. Do you have to keep getting
Updates?
it like changed out?
Exactly, and then you have to do open surgery every time.
Yeah, exactly.
They gotta have like a modular kind of thing.
So you have to get like a surgery.
You gotta get it like
every 3.
screwed on.
Exactly,
You know
or like something you can just like go in. Like there's already a hole.
what I mean? You can just kind of like
They have
pop
a
it
little-
out,
they have
like
little,
a SIM card
clip.
holder.
Exactly, like on the side of your phone.
You put it.
Yeah.
When you put like a paper clip in the side of your head is.
But don't you
your
think that'd
eyeball
be
pops out.
weird? You're literally a robot now.
Yeah.
I would not want to be a robot.
Well, I mean, humans are gonna keep progressing in some kind of way, regardless, right? And at a certain point, you hit a boundary with external technology, right? If you think about it,
That's true.
our phone is so powerful. The main limiting factor, the bottleneck of the phone, is our ability to access its information. You know what I mean? And so if that information that's the main area where progress will be made,
Yeah,
and will
but
increase everything
What
else.
does a normal person need more in the phone?
Imagine if doctors could instantly recall any thought from a medical textbook because they had all of the fucking information of the world.
Oh, so you're saying
at their
everyone just
fingertips.
becomes like super smart because they just
Well, not smart but knowledgeable.
they just have access to it in their brain.
Access to the world's information at like the bottleneck.
I guess that'd be
is,
pretty
you know what I mean?
helpful, but
Definitely, but-
I don't know if the applications are that crazy.
Yeah.
Because
Or I mean, superhuman strength, exoskeleton, right?
yeah. I don't know what you need. What do people just to have
Combat.
it? Just for combat.
Yeah, or it's like now you walk to class and you're walking at 20 miles an hour.
Now you walk to class, but it takes you 2 minutes to get
It
there.
takes 2 minutes to get
There
there.
you go.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, I'm just gonna keep moving on. What can society do to limit the negative and promote the positives? You think?
I mean, obviously cost, because if it does become something like the new iPhone,
It needs to be subsidized.
yeah, because it's gonna be weird to keep some people out of the loop just based off money. I mean, that is how a lot of things go,
Laissez-faire.
but yeah, sure. To limit the negatives,
Well, that would be limiting the negatives.
Yeah.
That's one of the major negatives. Promote the positives.
I mean, I just don't really see the point other than like you can do things faster. So unless it really is to go far enough that like you're altering how people's bodies work and like what they can do, then I guess that will.
I mean,
like, but
there,
why do
there
you
really is
give?
no theoretical limitation, right? You could have
True.
you could have an artificial liver.
Yeah,
That's like a machine, and
Yeah.
you can turn it on, it'll instantly clear up your blood. Then,
That's true.
Then suddenly you're no longer drunk and you can drive home after
There you
being
go.
like blacked out.
so I guess
Yeah,
there really
theoretical.
are a lot of applications, but
I mean,
very far off for sure. I just don't
not
see
as-
like
I mean, Neuralink exists. People have it in
yeah,
their
but
hand.
Neuralink is not accessible.
No, but it's not as far off as
But
like
are there people in
teleportation.
society that have it, that they're just using it, or is it still like testing and stuff?
I mean, I don't know. There's humans that have it in them. I don't know if
Yeah.
they're like normal people, but
Yeah, exactly. I would want to wait to see what it does to you.
yeah.
you
Once
know?
the first 100,000 people get Neuralink,
and then
I'll
wait a
start
couple
thinking
years,
about it.
like, does your brain just get melted on it, or does it?
Got
still
it.
work?
It can't be like chill. You know what I'm saying?
No, it has to do something weird to you.
Yeah. Probably makes you like into feet or something. What are your opinions on the changes? Are you optimistic or do you see things ending in catastrophe? Say we do go down a very heavy
I
route.
see things ending in catastrophe.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that probably has to do with like I watch a lot of movies like that, so
Right.
maybe that's why I have that connection. But
Like Cyberpunk 2077 or whatever.
yeah, and there's this other movie called I don't remember the name, but like it's literally what we're talking about.
iRobot.
No. He gets Neuralinked and then he ends up like killing everybody
Oh.
because the company, like the person that runs it, tells
Cars.
him. No, not cars. But
Monsters,
I
Inc?
mean, no, it's like a real movie. Like, it's not like
okay.
a cartoon movie, but
Got you.
so I don't know. I just also don't see the point in it.
Toy
because-
Story?
No, not Toy Story. I just don't see the point in it because people are fine now. I'm like, what else do we really need?
But I mean, what else do we really
Unless
need
you're talking
before
about,
we
like-
invented air conditioning? Like before we
Air?
invented before we had the internet, what
Uh-huh.
did we really need? You know what I'm saying? We had books.
Yeah,
we had
but-
letters.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. But but those aren't
humankind is
efficient.
perpetual progress.
Those aren't efficient. though.
Typing something into a thing and then reading it also isn't that efficient.
I guess that's
if
true.
you pipe
just
the info
thought it.
straight into your neurons,
Yeah, I don't know. I just
More
don't see
efficient.
how the impacts outweigh the bad parts. So
well, we won't know what it'll look like.
exactly. For me, I'm passing on the Neuralink. I'm passing on the eyeball.
You're not optimistic.
Hell no.
But what if like it was a really cool testicle? Like it had like LEDs.
What does it do?
LEDs.
That's all it
It
does.
glows.
That's all it does.
Glows in the dark. It's like one of those UV things you put in the sun.
It also gives you straight consumer speed.
That too.
Straight from
Forgot
the
to
malls.
mention that. And it prevents you from getting low T, probably.
Yep.
Which you need.
Of course. Maybe I should look into it.
Feel free to bring in other concerns. Oh, we've definitely brought in some concerns.
Yeah, and we've been
Considerations.
pondering some new ideas too.
Okay, well,
That's it.
thanks for the interview. You were a terrible guest. Had enough.
Fuck.